Number 5, and this is one that I get yelled at by other people in the business and managers. Give everyone in the organization the responsibility and the authority to solve problems. It's not enough to give employees responsibility without giving them authority. It's one of the hardest things for corporate managers to do, to give up authority. We hate doing it. Believe me, it works. Another big mistake is losing sight of your goal and your mission. Whether you're talking about customer service or sales, don't lose sight of the fact that eventually you have to serve the customer. Therefore, the best organizations follow procedure 90% of the time. The other 10% of the time, I empower employees to break the rules in order to ensure a positive outcome for the customer. I always tell my people, we make the rules, we can break the rules, okay? If we've made a rule and a procedure that's going to result in a customer getting really angry, dropping us, whatever, if it's appropriate, you have the authority to break the rules and make that customer happy. There are many organizations out there, department stores, Amazon, companies who live by that mantra. Make the customer happy almost at all costs. Of course, in our industry, there are laws. You can't break the laws, but you can break the rules if you made them. A cohesive, consistent process which serves the customer, not the organization. And this builds on the last slide. And what I mean by this is if you're making rules and procedures that make your job easier or your employees' jobs easier, you're not focusing on the customer or your suppliers. Don't put in place procedures that make your life easier. Put in place procedures that make your customer's life easier. Take obstacles out of their way. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos explains that as companies grow, it becomes easier to rely on process rather than results, in which case the process becomes the thing, or what he likes to call a proxy. In other words, the process takes the place of the desired result and usually ends in failure. When this happens to companies, they stop looking at outcomes and they only consider whether they've followed the process correctly. Okay, an extreme example of this happened to United Airlines last year. You all remember this. UAL forcibly removed a doctor from a plane in order to make room for 4 United employees. What a PR mess. And the most amazing fact of the case, though, was when during the investigation into what happened, when they interviewed those UAL employees, they all said they followed the procedures. Well, the procedures don't work if that's what happens. If the end result is that kind of a disaster, then you need to break the rules, all right? Planning and maintenance versus fire drills and breakdowns. This drives me crazy. It drives some of my suppliers crazy too, because sometimes they come to me with a fire drill and I say, we don't do fire drills here. We plan ahead. And if you didn't plan ahead, next time you will, because we're not doing a fire drill. So if you're going to run a successful sales organization, you have to know what you plan to accomplish in yearly, quarterly, and monthly buckets. And you need to take those goals and build an action plan for each one. Planning to succeed rather than trying not to fail. I see so many companies who the best they can do is just try not to fail. That's not good enough. You need to plan to succeed. Action plans made up in advance are far more successful than what I like to call reaction plans. Am I right?